Hello everyone, and welcome back once again to Big Fun Arts. I'm very excited about the next few lessons because I'm going to be showing you the techniques that went into creating the Big Fun Arts logo. And most particularly in this lesson, I am going to be teaching you how to combine vector shapes together to create interesting and unusual objects, such as this kind of zoomy, bubbly, swoopy cloud in the Big Fun Arts logo. And I'll also be showing you in the next few lessons how this type was created. Creating a proper stroked text is an interesting endeavor in Fireworks and one I know you'll need to know about. And we'll also work with multiple shapes, how to do some tricks with creating multiple shapes, and we'll also work with masks. And this shape actually has the stripes inside of it, which were built using masking techniques in Fireworks. So let's begin. I'm going to close the logo design, and you'll see that I have already started a file for you which you can download called Fun with Shapes, PNG, and we'll just start right here. I'm going to start with the ellipse tool here and draw two ellipses. Now if I start to draw right this moment, I might be a little confused because I won't see anything on the page, and that would be because the color of whatever I'm about to draw is white. So I'm going to change that first thing to a gray color and click and drag out a couple of circles and then switch to my selection tool, the black arrow tool, and move these over here. Now if you take a look, when two shapes are selected under the Modify menu, you will see that there is a choice down here called Combine Paths. And combining paths is the main thrust of this particular lesson. The first thing to notice that there is a join and a split, and I'll talk about those actually after union, intersect, punch, and crop. First we're going to talk about union. Now what union can do for you is actually take more than one shape and put them into one path. And I'm not talking about a group. A group is when you have two items selected and they're acting like they are holding hands in a sense. This is actually creating one path, making two things or more into one. So here's what that's about. I'm going to move my circle on top of this other circle and select them both. And when I choose Modify, Combine Paths Union, it's really created more of a figure eight type shape. I'll zoom in on that so you can see it with no jaggies. And that shape can be modified further with the sub-selection tool. And again, this is how I might make a heart. I could drag this point down, and then using the pen tool itself, I can remove points, clicking actually one time on each of these points to convert them from curve to corner points first, and then when I click on them again, I'm actually deleting them. And then this bottom point here, I'm clicking once to turn that curve point into a corner point. And we'll look at more of the techniques with combining and the pen tool as we go through here. So just quickly again, I created a circle and I can copy and then paste that circle. Now usually I do that with the key commands, Command C and Command V on the Mac, Control C and Control V on Windows. When I paste something, it goes right on top of the last selected object, and you can see Fireworks is helping me out here with this little pink dashed guideline telling me that they are now both aligned at their tops. And I selected them both and I chose Modify, Combine Paths, Union. And then I went to the sub-select tool here, which allows me to click on points and click on the vector edges of these shapes and move things around. I'm going to click and drag down on this point again. The pen tool will allow me to modify the points. When you click on existing points, you can modify them by turning them from curve to corner and corner to curve points. In this case, this is a curve point because it's on this curve line. When I click on it once, I have a corner point, and when I click on it again, you may see their little minus marker by the pen means that when I click on this, it's going to subtract that point. So first is convert and second is delete the point or subtract the point. And then down here on this point, I also have a curve point, and I can tell that because it has this handle that's jetting out here from the point. And when I click on it once, I've now got a corner point again. And just to further that, I'm going to click on these individual points, the ones on the left and right, with the sub-select tool I have first clicked on the left point and then shift click on the right point, and I'm using the arrow keys on my keyboard. I'm moving them down, and I have more of a heart shape now. When I click on this individual point again on the right, this handle is controlling the top of the curve, and when I click on the point on the left, this top handle, the Bezier handle, is controlling the top of the other curve. And with a few more tweaks, moving this point and moving this point down, selecting them both again with the sub-select tool, and once again clicking on the individual points and adjusting the angle of the curves by dragging these handles. And I've got a heart-like shape. I can increase the depth of the divot here by clicking on this point and using the down arrow key on my keyboard to shape it. Last one here, I'm going to click and drag down. Now I think what we're going to do is take a break now, take a pause and let you practice working on this. And I'll come back in the next short lesson and show you how to use the next of the tools that we're talking about here, which is the combine tools, combining paths, and the next one we'll talk about is intersect in the next part of this lesson. So I will see you there talking about intersect, and for now that was the union tool and the sub-select tool and the pen tools to accomplish our first combined path shape. See you in the next lesson and have big fun.